We have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, but you don't want me to read it so you can hear it.
There are people like me and a line of other people out there who will gladly take your seat and figure it out.
How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
That is what is causing the anxiety. That is what is causing the depression. That is what is causing the confusion. We need our children to be able to be children, to be able to be innocent.
As more parents across the country voice their concerns about the woke agendas infiltrating school systems, tensions continue to rise. From controversial topics like gender identity to inappropriate content in school libraries, these angry parents aren't holding back. In this collection of clips, watch as frustrated moms and dads passionately take a stand, confronting the education system and demanding accountability. This mother delivered one of the most powerful speeches on the internet, passionately standing against woke ideologies being pushed onto children in classrooms.
Hello, everyone. I've been coming here for 5 years now, and I was going to talk to you about some practical things that I thought you could change about 3210. But I've changed my mind. I've been really confused over the last 5 years as to why we spend 45 minutes to an hour of every public meeting talking about how great everyone is and how great everything is in the schools. And now I've figured it out. I figured it out because all these people came here to defend you all from hurtful words. This is obnoxious. Let me just say, there is one goal for the educational system. It should be to prepare children to enter careers to be productive members of society. It is not a counseling session. It is not a self-help area. It is not somewhere to find yourself, and we should not be led by the children, for goodness sake. The children are called dependents for a reason. They depend on us who have fully developed brains. You cannot feel your way through life. The issues that we are talking about, we are bringing you statistics. We are talking about scholastics. We are talking about funding. We are talking about busing. We are talking about trying to figure out how to make our children be as successful as possible. And I am sure that that is your goal. And what we have been called tonight is what they're claiming that we're saying to children. We're having an adult conversation. There are not children in this room. We aren't going into the schools and calling them names. They call us Marxists and hateful and bigots and everything else under the sun. Well, let me tell you, less than 5% of the entire population of North Carolina identifies as LGBTQ. You guys all claim you want democracy. Well, you know what democracy is? It's the majority plus one. It's 50 plus 1. You know what? More than 50% of the people in this state claim that they believe in God, Almighty God, who made us male and female, God who made marriage between a man and a woman, God who said that we must protect our children. The fact that we can stand up here and we know, we can brag about all of the wonderful graduations, but we know the statistics. 50% of children did not pass their end of grade tests. What are we celebrating? We have children coming up here telling us how horrible the mental health crisis is. Why? Most of us went to public school, and all of our peers are not in mental health crises. We have to ask ourselves, what are we doing to our children? I'm going to say we are discussing things with them that they are not emotionally, intellectually, and morally able to handle. That is what is causing the anxiety. That is what is causing the depression. That is what is causing the confusion. We need our children to be able to be children, to be able to be innocent, to be able to enjoy childhood and not know all of the drama and all of the difficulties in adult life. That is what we want. We want our children to be able to read and write and to think for themselves, and we demand that the children who fear God are protected in your schools.
In this next clip, a horrified mother blasts the school board after finding out her elementary-aged daughter was transitioned without her knowledge.
Hi, for those that don't know me, my name is Aurora Regino, and I am the mother that filed the lawsuit in federal court against Chico Unified for transitioning my daughter without my knowledge. I'm here today to tell my story so parents and the public know what is going on in our schools. Last year, my 11-year-old daughter was in elementary school here at Chico Unified, and her elementary school transitioned her from female to male behind my back. Shortly before this happened, my father had recently passed away, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My daughter was distressed and began questioning her sexuality, so she decided to reach out to a wellness counselor at her elementary school. The day my daughter shared with her guidance counselor that she felt like a boy, the counselor immediately affirmed this new identity. From then on, the counselor continued to have one-on-one meetings with my daughter without my knowledge. During one of those one-on-one meetings, my daughter told the counselor she wanted to tell me about her new identity. The counselor ignored her requests and did nothing to support her in letting me know what was going on at school. Throughout her transition, my daughter changed very quickly, was bullied, and as a result was very unhappy. And because her school kept this transition a secret from me, she was on her own. I'm a busy working mother, just like the rest of you. Before this happened to our family, I would have not believed this was going on in our schools, especially at the elementary level. I want everyone to know, I want everyone to understand that I want a space for our LGBTQ and trans community members to feel safe and supported. But the policy currently in place at Chico Unified has been damaging to our family. And I am not up here talking about what could happen if you continue this policy. I am up here telling you what did happen to our family. This was a time when she needed me the most, and you kept it a secret from me. I understand that you are trying to find ways to create a safe environment for all children within our district, but keeping secrets from parents is not the way to do it. Treating every parent as a potential threat to their kids is wrong. I know it's easy to make up a narrative when it comes to my case. I know it's easy for people to judge and say my daughter must have not felt safe or supported. And that's the reason for her telling her counselor. But regardless of what people say, I love my children, and there isn't anything they could ever do to change that. It wouldn't have mattered to me whether my daughter continued to identify as a male. I would love her the same. It's a slippery slope to allow any adult in our schools to keep secrets from parents for any reason. The actions the school board district took to immediately exclude me from supporting my daughter was very damaging to her and our family. She was very young and didn't understand what being transgender really meant or the obstacles she would face going through a transition. The school transitioned her and left her to figure it out on her own. It seems to me the district is getting it wrong on both sides. You don't know how to handle these very serious and sensitive situations because once you transitioned her, you left her to handle it all by herself, the bullying and the staff even outing her. Thank you.
This angry father didn't hold back when the school board ignored his children's speech. He took to the podium and made sure his voice was heard.
Brandon Michon?
You should all be fired from your day jobs because if your employers knew that you were more inefficient than the DMV, you would be replaced in a heartbeat. I literally just finished a conference call because I'm having to multitask to be here to address you guys. You're a bunch of cowards hiding behind our children as an excuse for keeping schools closed. You think you're some sort of martyrs because of the decisions you're making when the statistics do not lie that the vast majority of the population is not at risk from this virus. The garbage workers who pick up my freaking trash risk their lives every day more than anyone in this school system. Figure it out or get off the podium. Because you know what? There are people like me and a line of other people out there who will gladly take your seat and figure it out. It's not a high bar. Raise the freaking bar.
I'm going to give staff an opportunity to make sure that the podium and microphone have been...
And please wipe it down ahead of time, please, because we don't want anything to infect us.
Sir, your time is finished. Can you please leave the boardroom?
It's okay. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I'll be back next time. In the next time. To open the freaking school!
Can I ask the deputy to please make sure the gentleman leaves the boardroom?
Come on, I'll walk out with you. There's another one out. Oh, let's walk.
In this clip, a father strongly objects to a proposed policy that would allow transgender students to use the bathroom that aligns with their gender identity.
Now, to get on to the exciting part of 3280, I'd like to discuss, last time I came here as a parent, but I don't get afforded that right because people like to attack me and use my official position instead. So I'm here on my official position. You, under Idaho law, are required to maintain the morals and health of all the students. How can you do that when, like that little girl came up here and said, and you allow a male to use a female bathroom? you're going to put all of their moral health and safety at risk. And like I told you before, you will face litigation. You called that a threat. I'm telling you, that is what will happen. It's already happened in several states, and there's already been rulings on it. So before you waste taxpayer money, before you put a kid in harm's way, you better throw this policy out and not even consider. I've got the floor. Ms. Pacino, will you please listen to me? Sir. Yeah, you claim you want people to follow the rules, but you break the rules left and right. Last month, you allowed 2 people to speak.
We will
without
recess
being
this
on the
meeting
list.
right now.
You do not get to demand to follow the rules. Break them yourself.
We will recess for 15 minutes.
Frustrated and unable to stay silent, this dad reads aloud explicit content found in a library book meant for 10-year-olds, only to be cut off by the school board.
My own last name is Amanchukwu. It means I know God. And I'm glad to say that I do. I'm here today to talk about this book here. My name is John Amanchukwu, as I stated earlier. It's called It's Perfectly Normal for Students 10 and Up. This book details all kinds of sexual images, pictures of elderly people nude, pictures of an individual who's in a wheelchair with his penis out. All of these sexual pornographic images are made available and placed at the fingertips of children. And I'm sure, Dr. Cruz, I don't know if you knew about this before you signed on, but hopefully this is something that you can address and deal with, because this is immoral and asinine to allow children to be able to see this. Also, this book even shows images of 2 women having sex, a man and a woman having sex, and 2 men having sex. That's not perfectly normal. Who decides what's normal? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Or do parents decide what should be placed at the fingertips and allowed to be taught to their children in this school system? I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's vagina becomes moist and slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's penis becomes erect, stiff, and larger.
Pastor.
Sometimes a bit of clear fluid that may contain a few sperm comes out of the tip of the penis and makes it wet.
Can we, sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? You see, we have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, but you don't want me to read it so you can hear it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. You probably are a Christian man, but many Christians today have become more Democrat than Christian. Some Republicans have become more Republican than Christian. I'm not trying to win an election. I don't get my talking points from the RNC or the DNC. I get my talking points from the Bible, from the Bible. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
Here, a father delivers a sharp critique of critical race theory being taught in schools, calling out what he views as its negative impact on students.
When you talk about critical race theory, which is pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, how to dislike each other, that's pretty much, I don't care what you say, it's pretty much what it's going to all come down to. You're going to deliberately teach kids, this white kid right here got it better than you because he white? You're going to purposely tell a white kid, oh, the black people are all down and suppressed. How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? How did I get, first of all, time up, because I only got 5 minutes now, 5 minutes. 2 medical degrees. No mom, no dad in the house. Worked my way through college. Sat there and hustled my butt off to get through college. You gonna tell me somebody that looked like all y'all white folks kept me from doing that? Are you serious? What's sickening about this whole thing is what y'all doing right now is already something I do in my community right now to speak out against stuff, because black folks are getting told by other black folks, oh, you know you ain't gonna be able to do nothing out there in the world because them white folks ain't gonna let you get no, or you know you're not gonna be able to do it here because you know the white man gonna keep you down. Well, how did I get where I am right now if some white man kept me down? How am I now directing over folks that look just like you guys in this room right now? How? What kept me down? What oppressed me? I work for myself from off the streets to where I am right now. You gonna sit here and tell me this lie of critical race theory? Of this the reason why black folks can't get ahead because of white folks? Are you kidding me? This is what we come to now. I can't believe we even talking about this right now. The last thing I'm gonna say right here is something that's crazy. Martin Luther King said he wanted his kids to grow up in a world where they are judged by the contents of their what? Their character, not their skin. If they letting this stuff go on right now, it is absolutely doing the complete reverse of what he's doing. So when February comes, don't talk about Martin Luther King. When February comes, don't talk about Black History Month. Y'all gonna sit there and just pretty much pee on his grave with this nonsense. That's exactly what's about to happen. When it all comes down to it, the person that's gonna be suffering from this, the ones gonna be hurt from this, is the kids. 10 years from now, if this stuff goes on, whose fault is it gonna be? Whose fault is it going to be? Who we going to look back on and blame for this? Because this is stuff we talking about right now. This stuff is going on right now. I do this stuff on a daily basis. I'm in the hood. I'm in the communities. I'm out there with folks in their face. I've been doing this stuff since I was 18 years old, talking to black folks. And you know what? None of them are buying this nonsense. None of them are. But if you want to implement this into the school system, I guarantee you to the day that I die, I'm going to be the very person right there debunking stuff, tearing stuff down, letting them know they can do exactly what I did and get exactly where I am by putting themselves to work and getting there. And ain't not one white person ever going to keep any of them from getting there. So
this father erupts over explicit teaching materials in the curriculum, leaving the school board with little room to defend themselves.
Everybody for coming out. My name is Hassan Shami. I'm nothing but a concerned parent in Dearborn, Michigan. Guys, we want to make something clear, okay? We want to leave the politics out of this. If you're on Facebook, all you see is fear-mongering political rhetoric that this is book banning, censorship, homophobic. All it is protecting our children. We as concerned parents in Dearborn are not tied to the left, to the right when it comes to this issue. And we're not going to be used as pawns for any organization for their own agenda. We're here to protect our children. They're trying to smear us. They're trying to control the narrative. They're trying to say this is homophobic. Listen, there's a book that was banned. It was called This Book is Gay. And I tell you, if the book was called This Book is Straight, we're still gonna go after it. Because it's teaching kids how to go online and have sexual intercourse with others on the internet. This is wrong. You do not expose kids to sexually explicit material. Any semi-decent human being, homosexual or heterosexual, knows when they look in the mirror that kids should not be exposed to this. Stop trying to control the rhetoric. Stop trying to make it as you guys are the victims, because this has nothing to do with it. We as parents who are raising our children are responsible for our children. Our schools will not indoctrinate our children. The progressive dogma from the top down that has public schools in a chokehold will not indoctrinate our children. People tell me, Huss, don't go up and speak. They're gonna they're gonna protest your businesses. You're gonna get fired from your job. I got 3 children. My purpose in this world is to protect my kids, and that's all I will do. And nobody will stop me. Expect to see you guys. And 5, for every person, bring 5 more with you on October 10th to the school board meeting. October 10th. We want the street filled. We want the park filled. We want the building filled. But listen, we are not here to work against the school board. We're not here to antagonize the school board. We're here to work with the school board because the school board are trustees that asked us to trust them with our kids. So they will listen to us because we elected them into office. Until we mobilize and we get off our asses and we prioritize our kids, there will not be change. So we need everyone here. You get into your group chats, you talk to your friends, your family members, your aunts, your uncles, and you say you have a responsibility as a human to stand up for the children.
A furious mother confronts the board about graphic content in a book intended for 7th graders, sparking outrage among parents.
No, start 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Sorry. Can you go ahead and with your speech?
Not until it's reset to 2 minutes.
Your time has begun.
No, reset it to 2 minutes. Alrighty, This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson was found in a 7th grade classroom at Collinswood Middle School. It was also on the ELA recommended reading list for 7th graders at J.M. Robinson. I'm going to read from Chapter 9, The Ins and Outs of Gay Sex, starting at page 201, Part 1, Boy on Boy Sex. Perhaps the most important skill you will master as a gay or bi man is a timeless classic, the hand job. Good news is you can practice it on yourself. The bad news is each guy has become very used to his own way of getting himself off. Learning how to find a partner's personal style can take ages, but it can be very rewarding when you do. Something they don't teach you in school is that in order to be able to come at all, you or your partner may need to finish off with a handy. A lot of people find it hard to come through other types of sex. That is fine and certainly not something you have to apologize for. A good handy is all about the wrist action. Rub the head of his cock back and forth with your hand. Try different speeds and pressures until he responds positively. A bad handy is grasping a penis and shaking it like a ketchup bottle. Finally, my misunderstanding about rubbing two peens together wasn't far off the mark. Rubbing them together in one hand feels awesome. Mega combo handy, trademark pending. It's no wonder that 92% of CMS graduating seniors aren't college or career ready when you're instructing them on how to give blowjobs and handies instead of teaching them how to add and subtract. Superintendent, you stated this book was, quote, brought into the classroom by a teacher with no intent to allow students access. Any teacher that puts material like this on his or her bookshelf is either a bad teacher or a pedophile who grooms children.
2 minutes.
In this clip, a father confronts the school board after learning that his daughter was asked to describe her sexual fantasy by a teacher.
You're a liar. It's not a rumor. I have the proof right here in my phone of the with whom would you do it with? And my daughter specifically stated that the teacher put up a wheel on the class board and it stated anal penetration, oral sex, licking of ear, kissing, and he wanted them to write down the initials of a boy or girl that they would do these activities with. Now, I don't know what's worse, wanting to know my child's sexual fantasy or who they're going to have anal penetration and oral sex with. What is he gaining from this? What do you gain from this information? Why has my daughter that naively did the assignment? Because she's scared. She wants to get good grades. She wants to be, get her license. She has to get good grades. And so she does this assignment. Where's the assignment? Why hasn't she had it turned back to her with her grade on it? What is he doing with it? Is this for his spank bank? Is he literally using this for his sexual deviant? These are questions that need to be answered. He sexually abused every single child in that classroom. You look up the definition. I gave you the paper for the definition of verbal sexual abuse. Now, sexual abuse is sexual abuse. So where's the criminal charges? Why is he still teaching? Is it because he's the football coach and Churchill's doing good? Don't want to lose that hype? Because football doesn't matter when it comes to our children. Okay? This sexual deviant needs to be removed. If you do not remove him, I am giving you my word today that tomorrow morning I will go down to the county clerk's office and I will file for the removal of every single one of them.
This angry dad confronted the school board over their decision to allow boys into the same bathroom as his daughter, leaving the room in silence.
I was happy to help expose you guys and your actions. There is lots of good teachers in our town. They aren't well represented by you guys. The level to which you have gone to ignore the actions you have taken is astounding to me. You forced boys into my daughter's bathroom and then advocate to vote for the very lady who forced that to happen. So you obviously have not reversed your position on that. You still think that boys should follow my daughter in a bathroom. Does anybody up there have a daughter? Would it be okay if I followed her into a bathroom? Anybody okay with that? There's pornographic books in our libraries and drag queen teachers, and you guys are in charge of it. And I'm not going to stop until each and every one of you is removed. You have shown that you're not going to change course. And I'm not going to stop. And I would encourage you to step down now. Clearly, you are defending defenseless positions. Putting a boy in my daughter's bathroom is crazy. And thinking that a boy can be a girl simply for saying it is also crazy. We fought you guys to get it and got a state law passed. And clearly, because that's what is the right thing to do. And it took a law to stop you guys from doing that. There's lots of good going on, but Hitler built schools. What is actually happening cannot be ignored, and I'm not going to let it be ignored. The school counselors that I grew up with are gone. Mr. Gordon sent me an email today. He will not tell me if our school counselors are ASCA certified. ASCA, their 2021 position statement. It is an expectation, not the exception, for school counselors to integrate multiculturalism and social justice into their work as advocates and leaders. These counselors are not here to help our children anymore. They're here to indoctrinate them.
A fitness influencer goes off on the school board over their policies.
Statement. And I know that none of you will answer, but do you think that your curriculum and your actions reflect your opening statement? And I'm sure you'll probably nod yes, but I don't think that any of these parents behind me will agree. I'm appalled by the way that these meetings are run. You are nasty to the public who has a very, very valid reason to be upset. And it is your job to maintain your composure, to not roll your eyes, and to not certainly walk out. At the end of the day, no matter how much you may not agree with the public, you work for the public. And it is your duty to listen to them without interruption, without having your lawyer tell them to sit down, because that is your job, to serve all of these people right behind you. You mentioned Ukrainian aid, which is a noble cause. But how many of these parents behind me are interested in Ukrainian aid? And how many are interested in the over-sexualized curriculum coming next year? You guys really need to reevaluate how you're doing things, because if you think that treating parents in the way that you do is going to get you anywhere, it won't. It will continue to fill these rooms with people who are unhappy. You are failing our children, and not only are you failing our children, you are grooming our children. We will not have that. Schools are here for two reasons. One of those is to teach academics. It is not the school, it's not the job of the school, of the board, to teach culture or to teach sex or to teach race relations from a loaded curriculum to children. That is the parent's place. You mentioned that you are keeping kids safe. That is your second job. Do you really believe that? There's a 12-year-old girl who doesn't feel safe in this school. Do you know her name? You ignored the problem until it grew, and it's going to continue to grow. It is unacceptable the way that you handled the matter. And as a superintendent, it is your job to step up and take responsibility for those failures. And I bet my 3 minutes is up.
That is, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
Yes.
I will tell you this. You do not have the right to teach our children about sex. You do not have the right to mask our children, and you do not have the right to order people to be vaccinated or to be tested and make them lose their job as a result of these.
Okay, that's your 3 minutes.
I'm very aware it was my 3 minutes, and I don't think any parent behind me will be upset if I finish.
Thank you. Sir, we have rules and regulations
Yeah.
and systems that we need to follow.
Fine.
Okay?
I have 3 minutes that was yielded to me.
No, we don't
So,
do that. They can come up to the microphone.
The devious sexualization of
Excuse me,
children
sir?
at a young age
Sir.
without parents' permission
Sir,
is not
I
only
appreciate
sick,
what
but
you
it
want
is
to say,
twisted
but at
and
the same
perverted.
time, you're not
You
respecting
will
our rules
not-
and policies.
You will not teach our kids about
You're
sex,
not
and I promise
respecting
you
our
that we will
rules
be
and
back in
policies.
greater numbers
We
every
have-
single time
We have
until
a
you
system
listen.
in place, sir, and it's 3 minutes per
And
speaker.
I was just yielded.
And
So, once
no,
again,
that does not work.
you are
It is
out of
one-
line,
It is,
and you will
it is
be held
one conversation
accountable.
per person for 3 minutes. That is it.
Out of line, you
No,
will be held
sir.
accountable.
As much as we all want to hear what you have to say,
This is
we
not the
have a
last time
system
that you heard
that
from
we
me,
need to
and
abide
it's not
by.
the last time
We
that you will
cannot
hear
have
from
people
all of these
come
people
in and
behind.
dismiss our system of operations. That is not okay. Sir, you are out of order. I'm so sorry, but you are.
Teaching sex
Sir,
to
your 3 minutes
6-year-olds
is
to
up.
8-year-olds to 4th graders
Sir,
is out of
your
order.
3 minutes is over.
And I now
Please
yield my
have a
time.
seat. Please have a seat.
A mother steps in to back him up with her own powerful words.
And I'm here just to play off of what Mr. Smith just said. I know you have a policy of harassment, intimidation, and bullying, which if any student acted the way you just did, they would have a HIB violation. It's just totally outrageous. You should hold yourself to the same standard that you expect these children to be held to. It's better if you would just listen to people. Everyone wants to hear what people have to say, except for maybe you. This curriculum that they're implementing, I read one of the lesson plans. This is a lesson plan. As I'm reading the lesson plan to my sister on the phone, here we go. Here's the board. There's a penis, there's a man, and there's a woman. These are 3rd graders. The lesson plan says, hey, Jamal, go up to the board and point to the penis. Hey, Annie, can you go over and point to the vagina? Can you point to the clitoris? This is 3rd grade level of what you want. I'm telling my sister on the phone, and my 18-year-old daughter is like, you are disgusting. What are you talking about? And I want to tell you, if that curriculum was talked about in my workplace, people would be filing sexual harassment charges on the person having that conversation. This is grooming. What you're doing is trying to get children comfortable about talking about body parts in front of adults. This is grooming. This needs to stop. You do not get to take away parental rights. That's a given. Number one, no one takes away the parental right. Your job is to teach education, and that's it. And the appropriate level for a 3rd grade sex should be, hi, you guys have private body parts. If anyone touches your body part, you should tell somebody. You should never feel uncomfortable. This is the level that you should be talking about sex. So children feel safe, not so you can groom them. That is disgusting. I wouldn't even stand up to a board in whatever grade. And what is the purpose of this? Honestly, what is the purpose of this? Yes, I'm almost on my couple minutes here, and I know you're busy looking at your phone, but I would say it is best for all of you to take note, because you are not going to have these positions much longer, because everyone here is going to step up and they're going to run against you.
These powerful moments prove that parents are willing to fight for their children's future. We need to bring some sense to these school boards and let them know that we do not want our children exposed to this information at such a young age. If you enjoyed this video, help us by liking, sharing, and commenting, and subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. Thanks for watching, and as always, we will see you next time.